Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
Yes. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Motivational Mondays with myself and my friends. And we have an incredible show for you today. We have here Leah Garcia and Zion Anagaru that are joining me today to share this valuable information with you. So one thing we ask is that you put in the chat where you're zooming in from today. Just say hi, good morning, good afternoon, and tell us where you're zooming in from. And then you can even put in your questions later on. All right. So today we are going to be talking about the power of events. The power of events. And you know, this is a topic that really resonates with me because it changed my life. It changed my life. I remember when I was in my early 20s, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. I wasn't making any money, and I just didn't have direction. And someone invited me to an event, and I went to this event, and I saw all these speakers, these coaches, these authors, these thought leaders, and they changed my mindset. Right? They changed my mindset. They gave me tools to focus on to become more successful in life. And within 2 years, I was making six figures in my 20s, right? Because of this, like I had a competitive edge, right? That my friends didn't have. So today, I'm just so excited that I get to share some of the knowledge that I've built over the years with you. And I have two people here on the line today that run events as well. And they help a lot of people as well. So you're going to be hearing from them too. So without further ado, let's go to our first speaker. Now, our first speaker hails all the way from California. So right now, it is 4:03 in the morning where she is. That's early, right? 4:03. How many people that are listening to the sound of my voice will get on a call at 4 a.m.? Not too many, right? So, and she doesn't have to do it, right? She's very successful. She's a very successful financial strategist. She helps people make money, invest money, all things money. You want to go to her and get her her free ebook, all right? And then also, in addition to that wealth of knowledge in the financial area, she's also a black belt, a third-degree black belt in martial arts, which means she's a very disciplined person. She knows how to set goals and accomplish them, which also means you don't want to get in a fight with her because she may just body slam you. All right. So without further ado, Leah Garcia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Erica, King of Collaboration. Well, happy Money Monday, champions. This is an incredible topic, the power of events. My name is Leah Garcia, financial strategist and insurance professional, and it's really my mission to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth properly so that you can build that legacy. I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets, but I want you to really get engaged. I want you to start to participate. If you haven't started to participate, I want you to know this is your Monday. It's fourth quarter. We got to wake up here. We don't have a lot of time. So number 1, events shift perspective, and perspective shifts prosperity. You can't see new possibilities from the same old seat. Events move you physically so you can move mentally. Most people wait for clarity before they commit, but it's actually commitment that creates clarity. That's why the most valuable thing you bring to any event isn't your wallet, it's your willingness. Are you willing to make a change? Are you willing to learn something new? You might walk in uncertainty, but you'll walk out unlocked. Sometimes admission ticket isn't for the event, it's for the version of you that's waiting on the other side, folks. We all have another version. We all have a next level. Are you willing to give yourself the opportunity to access it? So if you want to expand your income, expand your interactions, because the next conversation might be the missing puzzle piece to your prosperity picture. Number 2, events are the catalyst for collective momentum. You can go fast alone, but you can go further together. We've all heard that. That's an African proverb. But what does that mean? That means the power of being together builds that prosperity. Wealth building isn't a sport. It really isn't. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. It's a team event. The right room gives you access to energy and ideas and alignment. But don't just show up. Get active. Put something in the chat, listen attentively and take notes, write something down, because what gets written gets retained. Events are where isolation breaks and inspiration builds. Solo success is like a $1 bill, and it's nice to have, but it won't stretch far. When you surround yourself with a growth mind shift, right? We're shifting our thinking, people. You don't just network, you net worth. Because the right community doesn't cheer for you. They don't just cheer for you. They compound you. They compound your courage. They compound your efforts. I call it compounding. They compound your skill set. They compound whatever you do will grow exponentially. Number 3, and this one is big, the law of reciprocity. Some people think it's a give and then you receive. No, it's a give. You got to give first. That's what we have to do, but it's give, and then you may receive. Every powerful event runs on the invisible law of reciprocity. What you give always comes back multiplied. That's so good. I'm going to say it again for the people in the cheap seats. Every powerful event runs on the invisible law of reciprocity. What you give always comes back to you multiplied. But what is the intention you're putting into this? Can you hear the intensity in my voice? You can't see me, but you know that I'm excited. You know I'm fired up. I'm bringing the energy. I'm giving you my best stuff. When you walk into a room, don't ask, what can I get? That's transactional. That's transactional thinking. But when you walk in asking, what can I give? Where can I start a relationship and a transformation? You might give a smile like Mr. Zion. You might give a story like the great Eric F. King, or a strategy. And what comes back might be a connection, a client, or even a calling. You can't make withdrawals from a relationship you've never invested in. That's like going into the bank with a black mask, right? We call that robbery. The wealthiest people I know don't just build networks, they build net worths of goodwill. Because when you give value first, the blessings compound faster than the interest on a high yield account. Folks, listen. You can have everything in life you want if you just help enough people get what they want. Zig Ziglar, Eric talks about this all the time. So this week, don't just attend an event. Don't just come here and then just sit in the shadows. I want you to show up. I want you to put comments in there. I want you to ask questions. That's how you activate it. That's how you activate it. Take some notes, share ideas, meet some people, make some connections, pour into others. Maybe somebody needs a kind word, because when you sow a seed of value, the harvest always circles back in business, in relationships, and your legacy. Remember, the right event just doesn't grow your business. It grows you. It grows you. It's how are you showing up? Remember, folks, this is fourth quarter. Do you remember when we said this is 2025 and your time to rise up and thrive? Well, listen, this is fourth quarter. We don't have enough time. You got to put a 4 in the chat if you're ready to make this the best year of your life. That's the power of events, and how you show up is everything. Because remember, wealth today can become your dynasty tomorrow. With that, I hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
Oh my goodness, that was powerful, powerful, powerful. I learned so much just listening to you for a few minutes. Man, we could, if we ended the show now, we got enough from it. We got enough. But guess what? We're even gonna give you more. So appreciate that, Leah. Thank you so much for that. Oh, by the way, folks, I see so many people jumping on, but you are not putting your comments in the chat. I want to call you out. Right? I want to call you. I want people to know that you're serious about your business. You're serious about your life. That's why you're showing up today. So in the chat, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, just say hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. All right, put it in there. All right, so we're going to keep moving. we're going to keep moving. We were in California. Now we're going to go all the way to Nigeria and West Africa to hear from our next speaker, who is renowned. He is renowned all over the world for what he does and what he shares with people. Okay. I've worked with him for a long time, and it's just, it's amazing the kind of energy he has for a young man to help a lot of people all over the world, especially in these times, right? We live in trying times. We live in trying times. And if you sit around watching the news, you'll feel that the world is coming to an end. But it's not. It's not, folks. You just need a little positivity in your life. So I think that's a good segue to bring up our speaker, our second speaker for today. Zion Inaugural, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric F. King. It's always a privilege to be here. And Leah, that was mic drop. I was like, whoa, come on. You brought the fire. You brought your A game today. That was amazing. Yes, happy Monday, everyone. Depending on where you are joining us from all over the world, want to appreciate you. My name is Zion Inaugural, your positivity coach and mentor, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, 1% at a time. This topic, it's a topic that we all can resonate with. Why? Because in this season and now, if you are not attending an event, if you are not hosting an event, I think it's something you need to do. Because what? It is a game changer. It is making things happen right now, and that a lot of people are not aware about. But the ability for you to embrace the power of event is key. For me, event changed my life. I know Mr. Eric said that earlier, and I can attest to that, what event can do for you. But I want to make a very important point, because we're saying, drop a comment, tell us where you're coming from. That's how it should be. For you to really embrace the power of event, it's to participate, not to be a spectator. I will say that again. It is to participate and not to be a spectator. Many persons come in here, you don't drop a comment, you don't like, you don't do anything, you're just there watching. Nobody knows you, nobody sees you. But for persons who could drop comments, this is where I'm coming from, I tell you, it can do so much. So one thing that event can do for you, it helps you stay visible. And visibility comes when you participate. Visibility comes when you are involved. Visibility comes when you are part of the people making the party happen. So I encourage you, you attended the event before, you don't say anything, learn to say something. I always say in my event, whatever you say, it's correct. Just drop a comment, say hi, say hello. If that's all you want to say, I tell you, you are on the right track. So one thing that event will do for you, it helps you stay visible. You have a dream, you have a vision, you have a burning desire in your heart, you have a goal you want to achieve. One way for you to get the voice out there, to get the word out there, is the ability for you to host events. And it's now more easier. You don't have to go to the physical location. Right now, we are all in different locations. But here we are with the power of event in one room, in one place, despite the difference in location. So from the comfort of your offices, from the comfort of your home, you can actually host an event to make an impact. Through event, you stay visible to make the impact you want to make. Impact is made when more people hear about you. Impact is made when people feel it, not when you're talking to yourself. Talking to yourself is good, but if you want to reach out to more people to make more impact, there is need for you to embrace the power of event. Secondly, one thing that event will do for you, it helps you to build relationship and to network with people. On this event, we only have serious-minded people attend this event. Serious-minded people. So for anyone who is attending this event, they are all serious-minded businessmen and women who are doing great things in their own capacity. They are here. How beautiful it is for you to connect with people like that. Event brings like-minded people, serious-minded people, passionate people together in a place and open you up to build relationship and network with people. It does not matter where you are. You can actually network with somebody from the other side of the world. I'm here in Nigeria, but here I am. I'm talking to Mr. Eric F. King from the US, talking to Leah from the US, and Cora from the UK, people from all over the world. So event will help you build relationship and network. I tell you, there's resources everywhere, but only a few people have access to resources like that. Event give you that access you need. to connect with people, to have access to resources that can help you on your journey to become the better version of yourself. And lastly, one thing I've learned about event is event give you access to expert for personal growth. You want to grow personally? You want to become a better person? Attend event. Instead of spending your day watching the news, spend your day attending events online. Attend event like this, where you are coming, you are edified, you are learning strategies, you are growing, you are becoming a better person. I tell you, if you attend our event, you will never go back the same way you came. You are inspired, you are motivated, you learn. So stop wasting your time to watch news morning, afternoon, and evening. Spend your time, attend events, listen to world-class speakers, even as they inspire you and help you become a better person. You know, for most people, right now, the world is going through a whole lot. People are going through so much. People are going through depression. People don't know what to do. One thing that can help you come out from that place of depression, come from that place of being overwhelmed, is to attend events. When you attend events, you hear people share stories that you can resonate with, things that you can actually relate with. And by so doing, it can inspire you and just help you to go through that difficult times and that period of challenges that you are going through. So I encourage you to attend events. Events are powerful. Event is a game changer right now. And I tell you, even if you are a shy person, it's okay. It's okay. You can decide to put off your camera like this, like you aim at me. Today I'm shy, Leah is shy. I think the only person that is not shy today is Mr. Eric F. King. You can decide to put off your camera and then they can only hear your voice. And I tell you, just by doing that, you can still make the impact you want to make. Let's embrace the power of event because it's a game changer. It will not just only change your life, it will change your business for life. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I give it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Again, I have learned a lot from listening to you and all the value that you bring and the experience that you bring, right? Like I said, you're young compared to me. You're a young man and you've learned a lot because you're around a lot of, forward-thinking people, right? So first of all, I want to recognize some of the people that are here that want to put their information in here. So if you're here and you haven't put your name in there and said good morning or good afternoon, this is the time to do it. All right. So Maria, welcome. Welcome. Coral from across the pond is here. Welcome. We have, let's see. Oh, the great Eric Dobie is here from Hartford. Charmaine Thompson is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. And I see that there are a lot of people that are on, but they're not putting their name in here or saying hi. So once you do that, I will shout you out. All right. So one of the things that was spoken about in the last few minutes was about news, right? News. Now, I personally don't watch the news, right? So I may catch something, once every few days, just that I see run across the field, but I don't wake up in the morning and say, what's happening in the world today? And then, in the afternoon, let me see what's happening again. Because what happens is you hear 90% negative news. And what it does to your mentality is it makes you feel that the world is falling apart. And when the world is falling apart, then you start to think, well, how can I possibly build a successful business? That means my business is falling apart. And then that means nobody has money to even buy what I need, what I'm selling. So then why even do the business? And before you know it, you go down in a negative spiral. And you just think everything's fine. Let me tell you something. Wars have always been happening. There's always been wars. Famine, poverty, recession. It's been happening for 100 years, right? So all these things that we see, it's happening in the past, but there are people that still thrive through it all. And the number one way I think to separate yourself from all that negativity is to come to events like this, right? Because then you see the positivity, now pun intended with Zion, you see the positivity there is out there, right? People say, well, Eric, you're always excited. You're always happy. Don't you have problems? Well, of course I have problems. But number one, I surround myself with positive people. I'm on calls like this. I'm meeting great people. I'm focusing on the positive in life, right? And that's what gets you through. right? I attract people like that as well. So I have people in my life, a lot of positive people in my life, right? So it's important to come to events for that. Ashwin, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing is this. Some people say, "Well, I'm shy." Well, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you don't want to be shy anymore, then you have to do something to get out of it. One way is to come to events, whether it's in person or online, right? Overcome your shyness, right? Get to know people, right? You'll notice that people want to talk. Like one thing I do, and my family doesn't really like it, but I do this when we're going somewhere, right? Like we were at a hotel, I forgot, maybe it was Tennessee or something, and we got into an elevator, and there were these two ladies in the elevator. So I said, "Good morning." I said, "Hey." So I said, we're from Virginia. Where are you from? And they said where they're from, and we start talking. And then somebody else comes in the elevator. And I think I forgot. No, they told me where they're from. I asked them. They said where they're from. They said they're from an area close to the first people. So I said, "Oh, do you know that these folks are from Ohio, and they're from Ohio as well, or they're from close by?" Really? And then they start talking, and we all start talking and having a good time, right? Now, if I didn't say anything, we just all look down or look up, right? But because someone said hi, other people said hi. Most people want to say hi and want to get to know you, right? So yeah, events help with that. Another thing is, because I said at the beginning here that events changed my life. Like it's my life's mission now to build events, to help people, to speak on stages, and to help people that come to the events virtually to learn from the people speaking on stage. It is my life's mission now because it's worked for me and it's worked for so many people, right? One thing events do is this. It gives you inspiration and motivation to move forward. You're inspired, right? You're inspired, right? You may think nobody's doing well. Like nobody's doing well. All your friends are broke. You're broke, right? Everybody's complaining. Then you come to events like, wow, people are doing well. People are building businesses. People are helping people. Oh my goodness. And it's another world, right? It motivates you. It motivates you. Okay. Another thing that was said was the stories. You hear stories of people, right? I have an event coming up. I'm going to talk about it soon on October 20th. And one of the speakers went through depression. She went through a dark time in her life, anxiety, and I'm sharing this because she's going to share it, right? It's not a secret. And she was afraid to talk to people. She was afraid to get out of the house. She was afraid for all of this. And then guess what she did? She did something that you'll never believe. She called a news station and said, "Can I come on your news station to just share with people that if you're depressed and you have all this anxiety, you can still speak on TV?" And she sent the message out, and she was scared that they're actually going to call her back. And they called her back, and they said, "Come on." And she said, "Oh my God." She went on TV. We have the video clips. And she said it changed her life because she did something that scared her. And I was inspired. I'm like, wow. You need to speak on my stage. People need to hear this. She's going to be one of the speakers. Now, you think it's inspiring listening to me? You're going to hear her on October 20th. You're going to hear her story, right? So you hear stories that inspire you to greatness. Makes you realize that there are opportunities out there that you can take advantage of, right? Also, the networking, right? I have met so many people from events. Look, Leah Garcia, Zion Anagru, I met from events on LinkedIn, right? So you meet people that you can help, that they can help you, that you can all achieve greatness together, right? Service to many leads to greatness, right? So you benefit through that, the networking. All right. So another thing I want to say is this. Through events, you're able to learn strategies and skills that are life-changing. Strategies and skills. I used to be one of those people that would say I used to say, I'm shy. I'm not really a person to be, I like to be in the back of the room. And yeah, I don't want to be in the front of the room. I used to say that all the time. I used to say that all the time. Guess what? I'm in the front of the room all my events now, right? But I saw people on stage that went through what I was going through, and they made it, and they're on the stage. And I like, if they can do it, I can do it. So when you go to events, you will say to yourself, if she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it, right? And like, instead of listening to the news, you come into events, right? So that's, and you have these actionable steps. You're like, after every event, I said to myself, there are 2 things I have to take away from this to change my life or change my business. Every event I've gone to, and I've been to hundreds of events, every time I get better and better. So that's why you want to come to events. Some events are paid and they're worth the pay. It's worth it to pay. And if you don't have the money, then go to free events. Okay. So right now, what I want to do, we're going to get to the questions very soon. I'm going to, since I'm talking about events, I'll promote an event right now, and then I'm going to get to Leah and Zion to share with you what they have going on, how you can reach them, and then we're going to dive into the questions. We have exciting questions. All right. So like I said, once I went to that event and it changed the way I thought, I started thinking differently, and I started acting differently. The things I did, I used to watch NBA basketball, right? And I would watch like 3 games a day on a Saturday, right? So that's 2.5 hours each day. So I'm watching TV for 7.5 hours, right? And that was normal for me and my friends, right? But then when I went to the events, I realized that if you're broke, you shouldn't be watching rich people all day. You should actually be doing something. I'm like, wow. That's smart. So guess what? I started a part-time business on the weekends. So instead of watching people, I started a part-time business. I started making more money. Then because of that, it started giving me confidence to do more. And before I know it, I was making 6 figures in my 20s, and my friends were all still broke. And they're like, hey, what got into Eric, right? So I'm going to invite you all now to an event. It's free. And there will be 8 incredible speakers on stage that are flying in from all over the United States to speak on my stage. And the event is on October 20th. So next week. It's free. Did I say it's free? It's free. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to introduce these people to you. I'm picky about my speakers, so I don't just get anybody to speak on my stages, right? You are going to be absolutely blown away. Right. If you need more, if you need something in your life to help you with mindset, there's someone in there that will help you. One of the best speakers I've ever heard in my life will be speaking. She will teach you how to speak boldly. If you're shy, you don't like to speak, that's what she does for a living. She's going to be there. Right. But now there's a guy that came from a bad neighborhood. He wasn't doing well in life. He's now spoken to over 8 million people on stages around the world. He's going to be there, right? And then we have, for those of you that want, that you want to become more healthy, I have a top doctor that will teach you things to do to stay healthy, to lose weight. Like, those are the kind of things you're going to get. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the chat. Carl, if you can put it in the chat as well. Be Unstoppable 2025 next week, Monday. This time, we will not be on this call till next week. Why? Because we will be getting ready to hear from some of the greatest speakers and influencers and coaches and authors out there in the world today. successwitheric.com/Be Unstoppable 2025. If you can't see it, if you're hearing my voice, successwitheric.com/Be Unstoppable 2025. I put it on LinkedIn. I put it on Facebook and YouTube. Carl will put it on LinkedIn. Click on the link. Do it right now. Click on the link. Reserve your spot so you can be on the Zoom that day, because it will be a life-changing experience. All right. So now let me go to Leah. Leah, can you tell everybody what's going on with you, how people can reach you, and then we're going to get to these questions, which are exciting. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I would say everybody first needs to attend this free event by Eric. Listen, free is one of my favorite F words. You can all do this. There is no cost, but there's always a price. There's always a price of admission. It's going to cost it. There's a price tag on it. So what is that price? The price is your attention, right? You got to actually schedule it in. You got to participate. You got to be there, ask questions. Don't just show up, folks, right? So yes, you can reach me all over social media. LinkedIn is my home. I host Wealthy Wednesday every single week. If you are looking for a guest speaking opportunity, we're talking about events here. If you're looking for an event, you're just getting started, you're not sure, I would love to talk to you. I'm not looking for people with thousands of followers. I'm looking for somebody with courage who says, I have something I want to share and I'm active on LinkedIn. If that's you, I'm looking for you. So schedule a coffee chat with me. I put my link in the chat and I would love to hear your story and your vision of how you're going to impact others. Thank you so much, Eric.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Leah. Zion, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Firstly, I want to say October 20th is a date for everyone. If you have ever attended Mr. Eric F. King event before, you know that it's always life transforming. And for me, I'm looking forward to next week, Monday, and I want to see you all there. For me, I'm all about positivity, and I host my positivity event every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. West African Time. You want to be intentional about positivity, you want to embrace it, or you want to surround yourself with people of like mind who are also intentional about positivity. Do it. Will join us on our event on Fridays, and we are currently on a series on mentorship, and I believe that your life is going to be transformed even as you join us on that event on Friday. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm always on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn, the only Zion inaugural you will see out there. And I'm looking forward to go on a journey of positivity with you. So thank you so much. I yield my back to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. So for me, I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram. But you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, Eric F. King. Eric F. King on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere is Eric F. King. Okay. And again, that's what I do for a living. If you go to studiospeaking.com, you'll see some of, incredible speakers, coaches, and authors. I help put people on stages and share so they can share their expertise with the world. And while they do that, they're helping the people that come on for free, because now you get the best of the best, where you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to go to events. Like I used to have to pay money. I had to fly down, get a hotel to see these people. You get to see them from the comfort of your home. You can watch them in your car. You can watch them in your kitchen. You can wherever on your phone, right? And they will drop some nuggets that are life-changing. One piece of information can change your life, folks. One piece of information can change your life. It happened to me, right? All right. So let's go to the questions. Let's get to the questions. One question by Coral says, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur who is nervous about putting themselves out there at events? Great question. A lot of people are nervous. Like, I've never done this before. I don't know where to start. So who would like to jump in, Leah or Zion?
I'll jump in here. I'd say just get started. Done beats perfect. One of my favorite quotes is by Cassandra Terry, The Voice Within Wins. And she says, do it scared, do it with shaky legs, do it even if your voice trembles. Your voice is going to tremble. You're going to mess up. It's going to be messy. That's okay. Just embrace it's part of the process. So yeah, I'm excited and then tag us so we can see what you're doing, right? Let us know what's going on with you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Zion.
Yes. One thing I will tell you is if you are scared or nervous, you are not alone. You are not the first person who have been there before. I tell you, the first day I came on stage to share, I was all sweaty. I was shaking. You could literally see me vibrating as if there was an electric shock in me. But one thing I did I just kept talking. I know I had something to say. I said it. I put myself out there. The first time I was so scared. But the second time I did it, I was less scared. The third time, I was less scared. And today, I can do it even with my eyes closed. So if you're nervous, it's normal. It's okay to be nervous. But in the nervousness, you can still do it. So thank you.
Absolutely. I'm a part of a group of classmates from high school, and we meet once every a quarter, once every 2 months. And when we get on, some of my friends, they make fun of me. They're like, "What got into you? Like, you used to sit in the back. You didn't even say a word. Like, how are you on stages and helping people?" They don't even get it, right? They would never have thought that I would be the confident person on the stage. But they don't know. They don't know that since then, I've been to hundreds of events. I've learned from the best. I've learned from some of the smartest, brightest people in the world. They have no idea. They're like, "Man, Eric, you're writing books, you're on magazines. You're like, how did you do all of that?" They don't know that I was just in the right environment, right? Environment. So I just started. You just have to start. You just have to start. You don't have to have the courage. You don't have to have the confidence to be good at anything you start. You just have to have the courage to start, right? So just show up, and don't be afraid of what people say about you. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I probably made a mistake today, right? Who cares? We all make mistakes, right? So that's my answer to that question. All right, next question. Have events helped any of you find people to collaborate with? Great question. All right. Has events helped any of you find people to collaborate?
Well, that's how I met the great Eric F. King of collaboration. I mean, if you want to know how to collaborate, follow him, watch what Eric does. He could be doing this event all by himself. He could speak for hours on end. He doesn't need anyone else to help him with this. I promise you. However, it is what Think and Grow Rich talks about. It's the power of the mastermind. And what happens is, you guys might think that we sit here and we collaborate and we talk about this event and we brainstorm about it. We don't, but our voices happen to synchronize. It's because it's the law of synchronicity, right? We're here, we're masterminding, and that's what starts to happen is you're going to just naturally start opening doors just by showing up. And you know what, Eric, also, if you could kind of circle back to Ashwin had a follow-up question about being nervous too.
Yes. That's the next one right there. Thank you. Is that it? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yes. Hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right, no problem. All right. So so before I get to Zion, the great Annie Asong is here. He is here from Europe. And yes, we are happy to see you or see your face. Like these guys, though, they just want to put the spotlight on me today. I don't know why, but hey, I'll take it. I'm not shy anymore. I can handle it. So, Annie Asong is here, the guy that makes you famous, the guy that introduced me to many of you on LinkedIn, the guy that helps people gain visibility. So, Annie Asong, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, of course I'm here.
Yes, go ahead.
I say I'm happy to talk about events. I almost missed it. Sorry, my friends. My life has been a bit what it is. Okay, right. In events, Eric. Events have changed our lives, right? Events is where it's at today. You know, I see many people who want to make an impact or be seen, be heard, be trusted, and sell more. See, before they told us, do post. Now they'll see you, they'll like you, they'll buy your stuff, right? How did that work out for all of us? Not very well. And that's now we have events. Events have changed the game completely. For me, anyway, so as soon as events came in, my social media went from being, I guess, tumbleweeds, nothing happening, to now. Events have been the amazing tool to do all the things I've dreamt of. Building a community of people who actually know me. Until the events, Eric, no one cared who Annie was. So literally, once the events came in, so I'm talking about audio events a good few years ago, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now. So once all the audio events came in, I saw the potential, and the potential was simply, rather than doing what I was doing, which is talking to people and connecting with people one-to-one, I suddenly realized I could connect to people one to many. It wasn't just me, my clients could do the same. So the question I asked myself was, if I can put an event on and give my friends, my clients, the chance to talk to many people at once, how many can they engage? How many can they convert? And so, since I haven't looked. Sorry, I muted myself accidentally. I haven't looked back since those days. Every day I see people get what they want from, I guess, our marketing services, from events. So every day I see people who are building communities, and I say, so suddenly people know, like, and trust us. Suddenly people give us credibility. People actually want to do business with us. So I just mentioned community just now, because it's not, this event is not just about showing up, doing an event and running off again. I think, we have to have some sort of sense of community building to make events work. You have to be open to people. And here's what I'm trying to say, my friends. I said, I've got many friends who do events, yet they don't always get the results they want. Then I ask myself, what's missing? What could be different? I guess I think what I think is missing is that I think you need to be, because your real self. You need to also be open to building relationships with people. So much like today, so we're here now. So we share our thoughts, we share our insights, and then there will be the after party. That's where things really happen, right? It's not backstage. It's offline. It's off events that you need to be open to people, to helping people, to engaging with people, to actually spending time with people. You must build those relationships. So you must build that community of people. I think you must show people that you're not just a talker. You actually do care. Events give us that chance. If I wasn't talking now, many of you wouldn't probably hear me today at all, right? You might see my posts, you probably wouldn't see my posts, but because I'm talking now, at least I'm here, right? And then now you're thinking, oh, Eni, do I like him? Do I like what I hear? But if I don't do the next part, which is connect with you and actually be interested in what you do, it's not going to work. I think that formula works for hosts and attendees. For people who don't tend to speak, my friends, if you go to an event, how are we going to know you're there if we don't hear you speak? So take your chance to speak. It's a rare thing on social media these days, but take your chance to speak, my friends. And for hosts, look, there's no way of saying it. You're going to have to be a really nice person, a genuine person who wants to help the audience and help everyone, right? I'm saying, if you're not that person, you get found out. Anyway, look, my friends, events is where everything's at these days. It's how I make money. It's how my friends make money. It's how we get credibility. It's how we get famous. Yay. Let me leave it there, Eric.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. That's how you get seen. That's how you get. Look, I was talking to a lady a few months ago who has 137,000 followers on Instagram. And she told me that she's not getting any business. It feels like nobody really knows her, even though they like her posts. And I said, do you do events? She said, no. I said, do you attend events? She said, not really. I said, that's why, right? People can like your posts, but they don't really know you. They get to know you when they hear your voice or when they see you at events or what you share, right? So that's a great benefit. All right, so let's get to this next question, and Zion is going to go first this time. Ashwin says, I'm not nervous. Also, it's not going to be for lack of things to talk about, but with live streams, if I start now, how would I keep talking or sharing while knowing no one is watching? Like like talk to zero audience? I love the question because I felt the same way. And I'm going to answer this question, but I'm going to let my panel share real quick what they feel about it. So Zion, how did you deal with this when you started?
Yes, that when I was reading through the question, I had to smile because I could actually resonate with it. Starting it's not always easy. The crowd you see in most events, they didn't start like that. I remember when I started, just talking to yourself. Sometimes one person show up, two persons show up. Sometimes nobody shows up. But one thing about event is the consistency that you keep. The consistency will attract the people. When you keep showing up in their faces, you keep showing up on their screen, I'm like, I've seen this person before. They will want to come back to attend your event. So you might not be getting the viewers you want right now. That's the days of little beginning. But the more you are consistent and committed in doing an event, I tell you, they will flock in to attend your event. As long as you are creating value and you are using that value to support other people, So that's what I wanted to share with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Erica. You the mic.
Very good. Very good. Leah, yeah, you want to share?
Yeah, I love that, Zion, creating value to other people. And for me, I love this question, Ashwan, because it does make me think about my first video, which I said, hi, my name is Leah Garcia. I sell insurance. But for me, I flipped it. I was so grateful that no one was watching me because listen, you're going to muck it up in the beginning. You're going to have some missteps. You're going to maybe, have a little bit of a challenge getting the technology and things like that. So for me, that was almost the superpower was I assumed no one was watching. And here's the thing. One day people will be watching. Speak as though they are watching. I talk about my worldwide Wealthy Wednesday, right? Because one day it will be worldwide. So I'm excited to hear what you're going to be doing, Ashwan. Please tag me. I would love to attend your event. And hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we all felt this way. Annie,
No.
you have a comment.
Yes, and I was laughing. Look, it can feel like no one's watching, but let me assure you, my friends, there's ways to get people to watch, right? The platforms give us, people to watch, right? And people are going to be there. Don't worry about that. As Queen Leah said, whether you're talking to one person or 50 people, have the same attitude. You want to give them something to go away with. So my events about conversations. And I use the LinkedIn lets you invite 1,000 people to a week to your events. Use that 1,000 people, right? You might start with one. We'll do. And then one becomes 10 next time, right? So as I said, keep consistent. But more importantly, I think focus on building that community of people. So don't just do your events and then switch off LinkedIn or switch off social media, switch off YouTube. Do your events, talk to the people who are there, people who come, engage with them. You have DMs, my friend, use it. The people you talk to, your friends are the ones who will keep coming to your events. Your friends are the ones who are going to support you and then become your clients. That's how events work, right? You can do it that way. It's very rare to have zero audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So Ashwin, let me just tell you, when the way I started, I took a course of this lady. Actually, she was on LinkedIn. I took a course, and she taught. A course was about doing events, and she said that you should start with an event that you do once a week, right? She said set a time and do it. Whether people show up or not, just do it, right? So I said okay. So I set it up Tuesday. Tuesday evening, I did the event, and the first time nobody was there. It was just me. But she said, keep doing it. She said, don't give up. So I kept doing it. Then I would see one, then I would see two, then sometimes I would see three. Then one day, I didn't feel like doing it. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was busy or something. And I figured people don't get on it anyway. So I didn't get on. And then I got 3 messages. One message said, Eric, what happened? We were waiting for you. I never knew she ever got on the event. I've never seen her name before. Another person said, Eric, are you all right? You usually do events on Tuesdays and we didn't see you. And I said, wow, some people even care. Some people actually care. Some people actually get on, and wow. So I didn't know the impact I was having on the few people that showed up, right? And guess what? I never missed an event again. Ever. I never missed an event again. And if I'm sick or I can't do it for any reason, I put a message on my social media and says, sorry, I can't do it, but I'll do it. Like now I'm engaged with the people, right? But I started. When we started this, Leah, there was nobody on. I think Coral was the only one on. I mean, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just Coral. And guess what? We did it the next week. We didn't give up. And guess what the next one happened? Coral was the same person. And like, oh, you're the only person that shows up. I didn't quit. Leah didn't quit. Coral didn't quit. And look, now we have tons and tons of people. Ashwin, you didn't know. You were not there at the first one, right? So I want you to know that it doesn't matter. That's my point. It doesn't actually matter. Nobody shows up. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And you get better. And here's the thing. I'm happy that all of you weren't at my first one because it was horrible. I don't want you to come to my first one anyway, right? So you'll get better and better and better and better, right? You don't want 1,000 people to come to your first event anyway. That you'd be too nervous, right? So great question. All right. So we are almost wrapping up here. I just want to give everybody a reminder. For those that weren't here before, my event is on October 20th, so Monday. 7 days from today is the event, right? But you want to register today, and the registration is in the chat. If you can't find it, don't make excuses. Send a message to me or Coral, my assistant, and say, hey, I can't find it. How do I get in, right? If you say, well, Eric, okay, it's at 10 a.m. Eastern time, right? If you say, well, Eric, I can't get on at 10, then cut down at 11. Get on at 12, right? It's for hours, right? You say, well, Eric, you don't understand. I only have from 12 to 1 during my lunchtime, so I'm not going to make it because that's an excuse. Come from 12 to 1. Get the information from 12 to 1. Don't give yourself excuses. All right, so let's go to another question here. Another question here. All right. From your perspective, what is one thing every entrepreneur should know before they speak at an event? Great question. Something you should know before you speak at an event. All right, so we're going to go fast because we have a few seconds. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah. My mentor taught me this: always begin your talk with the end. So many people begin their talk with the beginning. So when you're writing down your talk, start with the end. How are you going to finish strong? And then go from there. That's a misstep. I think I see people, they have a strong beginning, they have some great nuggets, but then their ending kind of falls off and trails off. So finish your talk first and then reverse engineer it from there. That's my golden bar, my $2 million cents.
That's I mean, know what you meant. $2 million nugget. Let's go with that. $2 million nugget. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Zion. Are you there? Zion. Okay. Any.
The one thing I would say, my friends, it doesn't, your success of the event doesn't depend on what you say. That's a red herring, right? That's what someone's going to benefit from something you share if you share with honesty and share from experience and share from your expertise, right? So don't focus on that. Focus on the post-event thing. Like I said, build a community, get people to know you, like you, and really know you. So a lot of people are, I do an event, I run away. I speak on stage, I run away. No, that's not how it works. Now you have to engage with the audience, engage with them, right? Then you find out what they want to talk about. So when once you know what they want to talk about, and you talk about what they want to talk about, they will love you, and they'll keep coming back for more. That's my biggest advice to anyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. For me, basically, how, when you're doing an event, right? Understand that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to create that platform, right? create the platform. The other people in the event will help you out, right? So if I'm doing an event and I get stuck, Zan will jump in or Leah will jump in, right? You ask, what is one thing that every entrepreneur should know is that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to do it. You don't have to be perfect, right? What's the worst that can happen? It's just, words, right? It's, it's not, you're not going to get hurt or beaten up, right? Just be yourself and have a focus, right? All our events are focused on one topic. Events, right? Like focus, right? Have a focus, because sometimes I see people doing events and they're all over the place. Yeah, let's talk about this. And then, what about this? And what about that? Then people are all over, right? So you want to have a focus so people can say, okay, I learned something today because it was focused, right? Today was focused on events. I learned something today. Okay. So have a focus. So that's what I'll say. We only have oh my goodness. Did I just lose you guys? Hold on a second.
We're here.
All right. Oh, we're here. Okay, good.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I liked it. All right. So in 4 minutes, what we're gonna do is, instead of taking another question, we're gonna go around the room again because some of you weren't here before. Real quick, how can people reach you? Last words that you want to share, starting with we'll start with Annie because he hasn't talked about how we can reach him. Go ahead, Annie.
The weird thing today, Eric, I can't seem to join events on LinkedIn. Look, I'm just sharing my profile. So connect with me. I don't know what's going to that doesn't work. So okay. So I'm gonna just post my link another way, right? Look, connect with me on LinkedIn. So click on my profile. So I'd love to know what you do. And I'd love for you to know what I do too. Only by talking can we actually do that, right? Events are good, but so talking afterwards is where the money is at, my friends. So let's connect, let's talk.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's go with Zion before he has to jump off. Go ahead, Zion.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Just about the last question about what Cora said earlier, one thing that an entrepreneur should know is know yourself, know what you bring to the table, know the value you create. Don't try to speak like other people. Speak like yourself. And if you want to reach out to me, always reach out to me on LinkedIn, Zion Inogeru, Mr. Positive Energy, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
Yes, awesome. Then who? I forgot which order I went. Who's next?
Me.
Go ahead, Leah.
Yes, I post every week worldwide Wealthy Wednesday, and this week I'm going to have the one and only Annie Onsung. He will make you famous. You got to show up there. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And I'd love to enjoy a coffee chat with you. I see some people in the chats that I haven't met yet. I put my link in earlier, or I'll share it again. Best way to reach out to me is LinkedIn. That's my strongest platform. Hand it back to you, Eric.
Awesome. Thank you. And Lydia, yes, she asked about our topic. So next week, we won't actually be here because we are going to be at the Be Unstoppable event online. Okay, Lydia, click on the link. You can get in for free. And it's actually a live studio event. So you get to watch on a big screen and you're going to see all our speakers. They're going to come into my studio to share, right? So Lydia, just click on the link. You can get that. But we're not going to be on this podcast next week. We're going to be at that event at 10 a.m. Eastern on that day. Okay. So as we close, I just want to welcome, let's see, who haven't I seen? Haven't I shouted out? Let's see. I think I shouted out everybody on here. Okay. I think I have. Okay. All right. So I appreciate everybody. We will see you next week, not on this show, but we'll see you at Be Unstoppable 2025, where we will make your last 3 months of the year more successful than your last 9 months. Think about that. It's going to happen. Believe and achieve. All right. So appreciate all of you. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be with you this morning, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Coro. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great Money Monday.